you guys bootstrapped this business, right? And for anybody watching, what that means is you did not have investors, right? You don't have the VCs and like that kind of stuff. Even though you did say e-commerce, it's not that kind of a business. So what were some of your challenges bootstrapping a business like this?
So yeah, the biggest challenge is running out of money.
Hi, I'm Bette Hochberger, CPA, CGMA. This channel aims to educate you on tax, tech, crypto, and finance-related news. Come learn how to grow and keep your wealth.
And on today's Finance Friday, we have one of our really awesome clients. I have Diana Moss from Mini Melanie, which is a bakery, and they make delicious stuff because if you scroll down a little, you'll probably see my unboxing video because they sent me a box of gluten-free vegan truffles, which I realize sounds weird, but they were absolutely delicious. I had to hide them. So I got to eat all of them by myself. So I'm like, no, nobody else is going to appreciate this but me. I'm eating them all. So I did eat all of them, sadly or happily, whichever way you put that. So to tell you a little bit about Diana, she was a human rights lawyer. I think is really cool, turned entrepreneur, and she brings passion for flawless operations, delivering superior service to Mini Melanie's customers. Prior to Mini Melanie, Diana ran various sales and operation teams over the course of 8 years at Onefinestay, a hospitality startup now part of Accor Hotels. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Sorry. I got it. All right, cool. She graduated from Emory University and lived and worked in London. That's awesome. So Diana, welcome. Thank you for coming on. And you actually run this with your sister, right?
Yes, exactly. Happy Friday. Great to be with you and chat all things desserts and Mini Melanie. So yes, I'm the co-founder of Mini Melanie. We are primarily an e-commerce dessert business. We ship beautiful, delicious treats nationwide. Everything from the truffles that you described, which are cake filled, a little bit different than other people do them. Cake pops, layer cakes, cookie cakes, whole line of products that are perishable, but can travel really well even in these extreme temperatures. So yeah, I run the business with my sister, Melanie, which is really fun. We love working together, and Melanie's background is in food, restaurants. She also has appeared on a few Food Network shows. She won.
That's cool.
Yeah. Melanie won Chopped and has competed against Beat Bobby Flay. So comes with a lot of knowledge on desserts and food and
yeah, that's really cool.
Baking, cooking on your feet in crazy pressure situations. But yeah, we run the business together. We're co-founders and are 50-50 owners. So yeah, love what we do.
That's great. So, okay. So you guys bootstrapped this business, right? And for anybody watching, what that means is you did not have investors, right? You don't have the VCs and like that kind of stuff. Even though you did say e-commerce, it's not that kind of a business. So what were some of your challenges bootstrapping a business like this?
So yeah, the biggest challenge is running out of money and keeping, yes. Making sure, we're, cash accounting business, that we have enough money for rent and payroll and all those things. So it's kind of being really focused about what our objectives are, because each one is super important that we set and commit to, and also get there in the end, because whatever our quarterly, yearly goals are, we know that is what we need to meet to keep the business alive, because you don't know where the next money's coming in. And as a bootstrap business, we are reinvesting all of our profits back into the business to continue the growth that we have. And basically our capital structure is growing as fast as we can reinvest into the business.
So what are some things that you have found that have helped your growth along? Like, obviously the reinvestment is important, right? You need to be able to have the facilities you need, the equipment you need, things like that. Was there anything in particular that really helped with growth, like marketing or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things with being a bootstrap business and working with, having a really good co-founder, someone who you trust and can communicate well with, is kind of making those quick decisions, which when you have a board or advisor or investors, sometimes takes longer and is more challenging.
Yeah, because everyone has an opinion.
Exactly. So that is, I would say, the best thing about being bootstrapped, that between the two of us, we can kind of run things by each other, make smart decisions, and be really nimble and change course very quickly. And especially in these crazy times when you're dealing with a pandemic or inflation, just changing customer behaviors, it's super important. We've had crazy 2.5 years of pivoting, like most businesses. We actually originally started the business as a local catering and events company. We also had a retail location. Literally March 2020, everything went to zero. Everything was canceled. Everything was closed. We actually didn't have an e-commerce shoppable site at that time.
Oh, wow.
That was born from COVID.
Necessity, right?
We're really happy. Yeah, we're really happy it happened. It was on our sort of to-do list, but something like that was really accelerating.
It changes your timetable a little bit, I think, when you're like, oh, wow, look, we're out of business if we don't figure out what to do and turn on a dime, like, boom. So that's impressive.
And that really helped, that it was just like, okay, let's throw out the 2020 business plan, change it really quickly. And now we're an e-commerce company, and we made all those investments, a new website, spending on different marketing channels, building out our newsletter, and just finding customers. And luckily we had a loyal customer following already. So a lot of our corporate clients that we worked with, instead of doing office catering, they're like, oh, all of our customers are now spread out all over the country, not in the New York office anymore. Let's send them their birthday gifts every month at home. So we, work with a lot of companies on birthday gifts. Instead of having like the, once a month birthday happy hour in office, we send a treat to each employee who's now at home. So little tweaks like that to kind of work with our existing customers in a new and different way. And we've always been about celebrations. Cake means celebration. So just finding ways
go together. Yeah.
finding ways to still keep the celebrations alive, even though people weren't doing them live in person. We've done Zoom baby showers, Zoom engagements, all those things happened throughout the pandemic. And we were still there for our customers and really grew our demographic, because now we can have customers anywhere in the country, not just New York.
Right. So it really grows your customer base. And I think what's really impressive is that you were able to figure out, because, look, I'm a CPA, work with a lot of different businesses and different industries. People who could not figure out how to very quickly adapt during that pandemic and during the changing, like constantly changing rules, you were out of business because you had to. It was literally life and death. Like, forget the pandemic portion of it. You really had to be able to turn on a dime. So that's really impressive that you guys were able to do that, especially with something where I think it'd be easy to say, oh, we can't do this. We can't ship these delicate, perishable things all over the country. And yet you guys figured it out. So when you need to make those kind of big changes like that, and probably other than the pandemic, you're not making that large scale of changes, but how do you like figure out the process? Because I can't imagine a retail store operations are the same as the e-commerce operations. There might be some similarities, but how do you work through that?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. And we work through it together. A lot of the changes we made were in launching new products, testing out how to ship them, how to make sure they arrive. Each product has a different type of packaging, different insulation, different ice, different ship from frozen, everything is particular. So we, determine a lot what our customers are asking for, what they want, and figure out how to make it happen. So that's kind of creating the product, testing it, getting all the packaging materials, and making sure it lands in the right location. And to be honest, we're still going through a lot of the challenges. It's, you can call it post-pandemic, mid-pandemic, but like the world hasn't leveled off yet.
No, it really hasn't.
No, we
Not at
saw a
all.
huge boost in e-commerce. For some of the reasons we mentioned, people were gifting and celebrating across the country and sending things. Now, thankfully, people are back together again. Some people are even back in the office again. People care more about what they look like and maybe aren't eating as much. So, a lot of the lift and growth we saw from e-commerce, we don't know, was that purely a pandemic thing? It's leveling off a bit. So we, have decided to make different investments in the business. Like, luckily, we have a lot of different products, a lot of variation. So one of the things we've been focusing on over the last 2 to 3 months, because we have seen a plateau in e-commerce growth, is our wholesale business. So our, people, now that they're not shopping online, are going into shops more. It's summer, people are traveling. There's a lot of great, food shops. I know you were just, on the Jersey Shore. So there's like really cute shops there. So we actually are selling some of our products, our cake pops, our truffles, and a new product we're launching. That's a cake-filled stuffed cookie. Which is, it's a new product for us because it has a long shelf life. So to put in a retail location, a store, that's been really critical. So we quickly said, let's kind of come up with this product. Let's have a wholesale distribution strategy, which is something, again, we didn't really focus on, that we're now investing in because we see that channel opening up more.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular you measure to kind of anticipate those changes?
We'd love to be able to, anticipate.
I know, other than the crystal ball, right?
Yeah.
But not anticipate so much, but like you start to see something that indicates there's a change happening.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's a decline in sales in one particular channel or another. We're measuring right now against like 2019. It's very hard to look at things year over year, especially because our e-commerce business is, just 2 years old.
It's new, yeah.
We launched the e-commerce with 1 or 2 products. Now we have a line of like 10 SKUs. So, that is a big challenge for a small business. You have these targets and goals, but, it's very hard to find a solid year in recent history.
That is true.
To measure against. But,
nothing's been normal for a while.
Yeah.
A regular.
We know for us, at least, whatever could happen in the year, we're learning, we're reinventing, we're changing course, we're perfecting things, because for us, Q4 is everything. Holiday gifting is, we could be closed until November if we wanted to. In some ways we are a seasonal business around Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Halloween, and Christmas holiday gifting. So for us, we know whatever happens, up and down each month, Q4 is the crux of our business.
Yeah. I think almost every business is probably seasonal in one way or another. I mean, mine obviously is doing tax. I always say April is my December because it's just, we're so busy. It's insane. Can't really close for the rest of the year, unfortunately, at least not in the last couple of years because pandemic and the related, but in the past, it's been very slow in the summer. And now we're just busy all year round, which I guess, yay, but it's different than my entire career was up until 2 years ago. So it's a little bit of like a shifting mindset. I do have a question for you though. So working with family, right? Plenty of people do it. It doesn't always go smoothly. So how do you guys deal with, and I used to work with my husband like very closely, like he does work in my business, but not like in it. We used to work much closer together in other businesses. Do you have any trouble like separating the sisters from the business partners aspect or vice versa?
No, I wouldn't say we have trouble. We stay in our lanes to a certain degree. Luckily, like we have a different skill set. So they complement each other instead of overlapping too much. But it is a small business, and like I said, every decision is so important. So we would never kind of do something without consulting one another. The benefits are, we're really easy to find each other or reach, and are really empathetic to personal family situations that take us away from the business. Because in these times, it's really important to have flexibility when you own your business. So I think that really helps. We support each other, we pick up slack if one of us can't be there, and can kind of hop in, but at the same time know what we do best and allow each other that room to guide that strategy or decision making as needed.
Yeah, and that's the, I think, important part is like know what you're doing and don't step on everyone else's toes.
Yeah, I'm not looking to bake a cake, and either.
You don't bake the cakes?
No, and Melanie doesn't do the finance.
It probably works out better that way. Fantastic. Well, Diana, so thank you so much for joining. I have one last question. Obviously, you've got an interesting background. Do you have any like cool hobbies or mysterious talents or anything you could tell us about yourself?
Well, yeah, no talents apart from having a sweet tooth and trying desserts all the time. But yeah, I mean, before Mini Melanie, I was living abroad and have spent lots of time traveling. My husband is also running his third travel business.
Wow.
So, I would say a hobby or a talent is being able to recommend kind of travel, food, things to do in many locations, just being that go-to person for people that we know, because we have a lot of knowledge and love for traveling.
That as soon as I go somewhere more exotic than New Jersey, that could
know who to call.
That could be very, very helpful. All right, well, thank you so much. We're gonna throw a link to your guys' website and try their stuff out. And yeah, if you have, if you're thinking about, I know it feels far away, but it's not that far away. If you're thinking about holiday gifting, which I've written, I don't know if I've done videos, but I definitely have written articles about gifting in your business, but it's a great thing. It gets you in front of your clients and your customers, and what a great way to do it with something absolutely delicious. So maybe consider them if you're getting ready for your holiday plans.
Thank you for sticking around. I hope you learned something new. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to my channel if you want to continue improving your tax and financial literacy. Bye.